Can someone who understands like science in the sense of in the sense of psychology and biology, explain this article to me. From Science Direct, early Alzheimer's disease type pathology in the frontal cortex of wild mountain gorillas. I feel like, I feel like due to the constant forcing oneself into something that they don't actually really want to do, say like with like an office job, or just in general doing something for the point of money rather than the point of like helping out a community. In general, I think that changes the way that the brain works, I feel like it not cauterizes, calcifies parts of the brain that do with personal power and someone's will, someone's free will. Whenever people are in a society that you get the point. In a society where you, and I was thinking about this as well, whenever you're woken up for whenever I was woken up for school, it felt loud. Like, it just felt loud as fuck to just be woken up. To be woken up at all, I think, is really unhealthy, especially whenever you are young. I think that is really unhealthy. It always used to make me feel like my flight or fight was enacted, because our bodies need rest, like, so importantly. And the 9 to 5, the 8 to 3 of school, the 9 to 5 of a regular job, like the common job in this society, it literally negates that by default. Your ability to, take a day whenever you want to just rest, specifically in America, but in general, like, it takes away your ability to just do things because you're actually passionate about them, and it also takes away your ability to listen to your body's natural rhythm and listen to your body whenever it needs more rest, and it forces you, it calcifies parts of your brain that are very important, because it forces you to ignore them, to ignore that feeling of resistance to being woken up whenever your body is genuinely like healing and resting. Like, it does something to the brain. It messes with the way that we are wired as primates. And I saw some other articles, but this one specifically, it says that most of the studies, because it's like, do other animals get dementia or Alzheimer's disease? But I looked up dementia. I said, do other animals get dementia? And it said yes. Like, it's been observed in dogs, cats, horses, and rabbits. And I was like, okay, well, dogs and cats are most of the time like inside their entire lives, which is also very fucking unnatural. And also, I wonder, like, well, the just the general vibration that drywall gives off versus something made of natural materials, whether it be a tent with animal hide or fabrics with pure wool versus plastic. I think that those energies are very important as well in this discussion, because um, we naturally want to resonate with something that is of earth frequency, and this is synthetic, so it's dead energy, in the sense of it doesn't have an energy that is natural. It doesn't vibrate. It's not a vibration that we can catch, you know what I mean? It's not something that we can ride along. It's something that is just there, and not something that we can really attune to, because it's not for us, it's not for anything, it's just there. Growing up, and like with the little things as well, like the fact that it is not a requirement to have dome houses in places with tornadoes. Also, like the fact that like in like the government, right? Naturally, the government in societal structure is the chief. In a regular village, it is the person who is in charge of everything and is meant to make sure that everyone is safe. And they just, by definition, don't do that. They don't. What the government does is that it is a slave master. And I think as well, like being told like, oh, the government, like pledging your allegiance to the government in school, laws that like about taxes, like that is what gives people these kinds of diseases. Like I just know it, because it is so benign and foreign that if someone goes their entire life without recognizing that, or without having the space to recognize that, it can make their brain stop working. Because it is like we are not meant to be held in captivity. And if you think about it, we are not much different than zoo animals whenever we conform to slavery. And I was seeing this, someone was saying, and like the lies, the believing the lie, the whole American thing is pull yourself up by your bootstraps. America was not built by white Americans. It was not built by Americans. It was built by people who didn't even have the title of a human being. You feel me? Like it was not built by people who say now pull yourself up by your bootstraps, who benefit from the systems like of white supremacy. Like it was built by people who, and taken from people who weren't even recognized as people. That's a lie. That's a lie. And when people believe that, when they're like when like I think that also like it just I don't like the word bricked your, well, but it kind of makes sense, like bricked your brain, I think. And like there's so much truth in everything. Like I feel like humans like naturally like whatever, like, because now I'm thinking about that, and it's like, well, calcified means for something to harden. Like your fascia can like calcify, your pineal cortex can calcify, like if you don't like allow yourself to think. And I think that's the same way for the brain, like in general. Like it can like people's bodies can just like become like bricked up if they don't allow that movement of truth through them. And the truth is, it's bullshit. Like capitalism is bullshit, and it's slavery. Everybody is just a slave now, even the people who are rich. And like even the people who are rich, and like even back then, like whenever people were doing like heinously violent shit to other human beings, just because they thought that they weren't human beings, that is still a form of slavery due to indoctrination, due to peer pressure, due to societal expectations. And that for sure messed up people as well. Like you don't inflict violence. I heard this thing that was like, when people torture other people, they imagine like that it's like they're doing it to themselves. But let me see if that's actually true, because I heard that on a show. Oh no, but like psychologically. Hold on. And it's also sadistic. Like the way that the current society works is very sadistic, because it's very, like, I understand why people, well, why certain people are sadists, but it's like all of the monetary system is sadistic in nature, because it thrives on people being stripped of their free will, of their humanity, in the sense of being connected to the earth in a way that's not dictated by having to make a dollar. And that, like, that just brings me back, like, I really do think, like, making money, like, is so disconnected. Like, we're meant to be, like, trading and, like, just doing things for the love of the game, like hunting and having festivals and stuff like that. And I just think that without it, people lose the plot, obviously, but like genuinely, like bodily too. Like really, really, it's really, really sad. And I think that's why serial killers exist, because most serial killers are white, and a lot of white people used to just like do that all the time. So I think that that's either why some people, well, I think it's a big reason why some people are born with apathy, and some people are like born with like just like less empathy. It's because like I said, the societal pressures, like fitting, trying to fit into a barbaric society. People talk about early America as if it wasn't like, you know, when they had the heads rolling down the temples. Like that shit is like, in Jamaica they call it Babylon, and I don't know if that's where it was, but I do know that like some of those early societies were fucking brutal. And it's like America was brutal as well. They were burning crosses and hanging people from trees just because they were black. Like they were torturing people. Like it was brutal. It was as brutal like as all of those places that you learn in history and you're like, "Oh shit, like that's intense." That's what America was like too. Like not that long ago, and even now, like it's even like there are still sundown towns. And to live in a society where you're like, oh, la di da di da, like just make money for the white man, still, and taxes go to war, and pointless wars and genocides. And because like for with Iran, for example, now I don't know that much about Iran, but I do know I saw some people who are like literally from some of these places, not not Palestine specifically. So like whenever I'm talking about this, but like since I'm talking about the Middle East, but I saw some people who were like, they were like, we have to get out of here before they shut down, like before they like make us stay. And I was like, holy shit. And then I was watching The Night Agent, and it's like there's still societies that like, and then America's like, it's just like, but like America is the exact same way. Like yes, they don't do things exactly, you know, they don't have the exact same rituals of oppression, but they still have rituals of oppression. Like and for America to take it upon their hands and instill democracy, we don't have a democracy, you know what I mean? And that as well, it's like that cannot be good for the brain. Like we are being taxed without representation. Although how although we were in school being told about the Boston Tea Party and how people, you know, lost their fucking shit over a tax on tea, but yet we're being taxed without representation to this fucking day. And these billions of dollars could have been used on universal health care, but instead they're being sent to bomb innocent people. Like, no one, I didn't vote for that. You know what I mean? Like, no one voted for that. And there's no point of even voting anyways, because we don't have a true democracy. We have a dictatorship with a with a with with a kiss on the head telling you like good, like tucking you in at night. Like, if you work hard enough, you can get so much money, but like you don't control shit. Like this, like you feel me? Like and like lobbyists, the way that lobbyists are able to exist is fucking insane. Like, talk about taxation without representation, bro. Well, let's talk about fucking voting without representation, because when are we, like, and I don't even want to say, but I was gonna say, when are we gonna be able to vote for someone and then have it also be an option like, hey, you cannot accept money from anybody else. You have to do shit from your chest, like, you know that thing? But like, I think that the entire system of the American government needs to be dismantled and stripped to the fucking ground and then burned. Like, I think like the whole American, like, it needs to be like stripped to the studs, and then the studs need to be used for a bonfire, and then the ashes just need to like just ashes, like just let that shit be gone. Like, because it's just not real. It's so weird. And but yeah, but if I were to want it to still exist, then I'd be like, there should be like a thing where a law passed. No, but like, honestly, fuck laws, fuck all that shit, because people should just do the right thing. Like, I think people will start to do the right thing whenever, well, the thing that just like feels best to their soul, whenever they actually learn how to have a soul, whenever they are detached from things that are so inhumane, such as being a billionaire, or like just using their power over other people for sport. Like, just the amount of stuff. When people learn how to talk about their feelings, I think that they will start to do better things, because people treat it like the Bible. People treat like, they're like, oh, if you just say one more verse, if you just say just the right verse, or if you just add just the right law, like, they want people to go to prison. Like, they want, like, you wonder why they don't like actually invest in the mental health of people in America, is because they thrive on the prison slavery situation. They thrive on slaves, and like, they thrive on slavery to this fucking day. And whether you're in prison or not, you're still making them money. Like, it's bad. It's bad for the body, because it's not real. And I think that people have gone through so much that they just, you know, they just want it to be enough so badly. Like, at least, you know, people aren't burning crosses in other people's front yards anymore. At least we're desegregated for the most part, and just want to sit down and ignore it. But it's like, our body doesn't ignore it. Our body knows. Our body feels it. Therefore, we know it. And people are anyway, that is my feeling. That's my hypothesis, is that the modern world of money, specifically money, like point blank period, like making a dollar to spend a dollar, is what causes these diseases where the brain degenerates at rapid speeds. I think the one thing that was probably true, or maybe it wasn't true, but like, I don't know if it was true, I don't know. But because I'm kind of starting to see that, well, anyway, I do think people have the ability to live a lot longer than they do. And I think that, you know, it's kind of like the placebo effect, as well as people just kind of giving up, like wanting to just rest, which I understand. Like what I'm thinking about right now is when people would jump from slave ships. I'm not saying to do that. I'm just saying I'm not judging it either, because, you know, some things I do believe, like because that I understand it, because the things that were done to people before they got on those ships. But I do think that we are close now, and that we have the ability to change things, and things have changed a lot, you know what I mean? I just think the final thing to change is the thing that continues to like burn hot in a bad way, because I think of it kind of like this, like wildfire. Money. And it's like some of the adverse effects as well, like just are like the trees that are being burned, the humanity that was stripped and hollowed people out to make them into something terrifying. Those are the trees and the bugs that pass away in this fire. And I think we are at a point where we can harness the ocean and put it out, because wildfires are not inherently bad, but whenever it's scorched half the earth just so that people could put concrete over their ashes, it's time for water. It's time for healing. Natural disasters aren't bad, they just aren't meant to go on forever. I think that we can learn things, a lot of things. I think that it will never get this bad again, because people, once we don't have money anymore, I think society will be such a utopia, because we have so much more knowledge through things like modern science, modern agriculture. But there was also those things in the past. I just think the hate that was able to grow won't be able to grow anymore. unlike the past. Because it will be so ingrained in our DNA. What it felt like to let that fire run wild. You know what song I'm thinking about? You can hear the whistle blowing 500 miles. Lord, I'm one. Lord, I'm two. Lord, I'm three. Lord, I'm four. Lord, I'm 500 miles from my home. 500 miles, 500 miles, 500 miles, 500 miles. Lord, I'm 500 miles from my home. You know, also the song just started playing in my head again. I switch the time zone. Wait, is that how he says it? I switched it. What do I know?